Hey everybody, Skipper Davies here, project manager in tech with a focus in cybersecurity and infrastructure. And yesterday we were working on this, which was the flAWS cloud challenge, which is looking at vulnerabilities in AWS. Um, so I just wanted to explain why I have decided not to continue with this and what I'm going to be doing next. And it will probably be a different series of videos. So there's not going to be a part two for this, at least not for a long time. So yesterday, just to sort of recap, we went through level one, part one, found out a bunch of different things, found out about S3, that it was in an S3 bucket. This particular site is hosted there, and that it's in AWS West 2, I think. And that the types of vulnerabilities that will be there are all unique to AWS. It even says right here there'll be no vulnerabilities of these kinds. We found out different IP addresses, that it uses IPv4 addresses, things like that. And we did a few commands, so a dig command with a few other specifications, and then we also did an NS lookup command, not for this particular IP address, but for the ones that were returned with the dig command originally. So we did that, got a bunch of additional information. Of course, this also says some of the information here in the hints, but even if we had none of this, we would have gotten that information. Also learned that with the IP addresses that were returned, that you have to try out all of them because, or at least spot check quite a few of them, because otherwise it's not going to give you all this information down here. Some of them returned no information, even though they successfully redirected to this initial landing page right here. So we learned all that, went to hint two, and then basically found out that we're going to be using the AWS CLI, which means that you have to have an AWS account, log in, do all that, and there's a bunch of other things that go with that. And this is getting to the reason why I am choosing to not continue with this series. So I did create an AWS account. I probably will use it for this or something similar to this in the future to learn more about the AWS environment. But my background is all in Azure, and that's really where I want to focus my future learning right now, because my time is not as limited as it once was, but it's still limited. My energy is limited. Funds are limited right now because I'm in between jobs. So if you're looking for a project manager in tech, I'm the guy, right? But basically, I need to be very targeted with what I'm focusing on right now. And yes, I am kind of having fun with this series and fun with learning more about cybersecurity. So it's not like I'm trying to get a certification or do something like that right now. That's not the case. But I want to be a little bit more selective than this with my time. So I made the decision to not continue with this. Wanted to explain that real quick and explain sort of where I might be going next with things. So a few things, did a bunch of research. There's Hack the Box, which is really good, but there's not a whole lot of hand-holding with that. And my skill level is kind of Swiss cheese related, which you probably saw in the other video. Also apologize for the audio quality for the other video because it was pretty bad, but I'm using a headset now, so the audio should be a little bit better now than it was last time. Hack the Box, again, it's a little bit more intermediate to advanced level, and that's not really quite where I'm at with the hands-on stuff. Architecturally, I understand things well enough for a senior project manager that has a good understanding of cybersecurity, but not well enough to have a whole lot of confidence. I know what an A record is, but then I didn't know what a whole bunch of other stuff was yesterday, so I'm still learning all these types of things. So that's kind of why I decided to go with this resource, which is Try Hack Me. There's much more text. It might be a little bit more boring to watch for people who are watching my series of videos. But my thing is, like, I don't really like the whole YouTube editing videos. People can skip around the video, they can speed up videos. I'll let the user determine what they want to listen to, or if they just want it as background noise. And you can watch someone in real time going through things, going through the struggle, that sort of stuff. That was the idea with the series of videos. Is that going to cause a decrease in viewership? I think the answer is probably yes. But I think that it's just the way that I want to approach this series for now. Might change in the future. It's always possible, but that's just my thought process for now. Plus, I can rewatch what I was doing and look at how I was learning and look at how I was doing things, which is useful. And I can also take the transcript, upload it to an LLM, and have it drive some insights for things I'm doing as well, which is an interesting way to go. So, all those reasons are why I'm probably going to keep this series the way it is. There's a lot of really good learning and dashboards here. This one is Defending Azure, which is more in the area I want to get into. I was originally going through, after answering some questions, this pre-security checklist. Some of this is very basic and I already know all this stuff. Other aspects to it are slightly more advanced or a refresher. The networking areas, I haven't ever been as strong in that as I am in other areas of cybersecurity, but this is a really core, critical, fundamental thing to understand. I know what subnetting is. I know some about like different types of slash networks and stuff like that, but like obviously I'm not even getting the terminology totally correct, so that should tell you something about my knowledge there. So I need to really brush up on this and understand it better. So there's a lot of things in here I probably need to go over anyways. So I'll probably start there and then eventually move over to here at some point and also explore a bunch of other areas. There's another reason why I also am choosing Try Hack Me as opposed to Hack the Box, other than the intermediate to advanced level of Hack the Box versus this. And the fact that this here has more hand-holding and more information for me to be able to understand what's going on and learn faster and more efficiently. And that's the pricing model. So Try Hack Me is a flat fee, which if we go here, this is it right now as of today in let's see here, July 2nd of 2026. That's a European date format there, if you're wondering why it says that, if you're American, because I'm in Europe right now. But basically, if you do this, it's $10.50 a month in dollars, and you have access to everything. There's no limitations, unlimited attack box, etc. You got discount certificates if you want to do certificates, which I'm not really focused on that. I'm just focused on the knowledge, but whatever. But basically, this is the way to go. If you do Hack the Box, then you have to pay for cubes, and you use a certain number of cubes for different sections, and then that can add up to a lot more money than just this. So Hack the Box is probably better if you're intermediate or senior level, I think, based off of my research. But Try Hack Me is perfectly fine for what I'm doing, and it's probably fine for most beginners. And even for intermediate, I think it's probably okay. Once you get to more advanced, then Hack the Box is probably worth looking into. And once you're to that level, you're probably going to have money, and you're probably going to have jobs and stuff like that. So that would be my recommendations based off my research. There's one other resource that I will probably look into quite a bit. I'm just going to close this tab out real quick. And I wanted to share that resource with you because I think a lot of people will find it valuable. And I'll include the link to both of these in the description below. So if you want these for later, you can. But that's here. This was in the R cybersecurity subreddit, which is pretty good to look at. But this includes, there's this one person, no job, no money, which who knows if that's true, but this one person was basically saying, hey, this is all these resources that you might need. It's a long list of resources, and a lot of these are really, really, really good things. I'm not even sure how long it took this person to, and even some people commented on this, how long it took this person to really compile all this and put this all together. But it's quite a lot, and this was from 4 years ago. So a lot of these are probably still very relevant. It's always good to check that sort of thing because things change in this field very quickly. And of course, artificial intelligence has progressed a lot in the last 4 years. It's completely changed software engineering and has changed security enormously in ways that are hard to even put into words and would take several videos to explain. So I'm not going to even dive into that, but and I'm not even the most knowledgeable about it. But there are some really good ones in here, like Network Chuck is very well known. Hack This Site is very well known. So there's a variety like that. And every other commenter in here was basically saying, this list is a really good list. So this is the link right here, and I will include it in the description below. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to do a quick video to explain why I was changing courses pretty significantly right away after only doing one part to flAWS.cloud. That's the reason why. And we'll probably be diving more into Try Hack Me and a variety of other areas. And for those of you that are more advanced, you're probably not going to want to watch this series because this is the pre-security path here, so it's going to be very basic. I've already completed parts of it. I had stopped because I didn't want to spend the money originally, but now I realize that this is actually a pretty good deal for what I'm getting access to. So I'm going to do that, at least for now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you like this video, hit like and subscribe, and we'll continue exploring things. And if you're a project manager who's trying to get a little bit more technical, then this channel is definitely for you, or for people like that. So if you know someone like that, always feel free to drop them a link to the channel, and talk soon. See ya.